In 1964, Robert Edinger wrote a book called A Prospect of Immortality, which enabled scientists of the time to learn more about the mysterious process of cryonics. Cryonics is defined as the practice of preserving humans and animals at cryonic temperatures in hope of future resuscitation. Even though cryonics was not a norm of society in 1964, scientists still research the evolution of the cryonic process. With the prospective patient increase, heightened scientific knowledge in history and modern times has contributed to a deeper explanation of the cryonic process. Following the increase in scientific knowledge of cryonics, cryobiologists were still faced with financial issues and criticism regarding the process. After much research and the development of the in-depth process, there are several steps that lead to a successful freezing for hopeful future resuscitation. According to Benjamin Best, the author of Scientific Justification of Cryonics, the cryonic process is based on 4 key concepts regarding the human body. He explains that low temperatures can slow metabolism, reduce the formation of ice crystals, justify legal death to reversible death, and hopefully be revived in the future. Best explains that the process of cryonics is extremely long and that some areas of science have claimed the practice is impossible. With approval from Best, Andrew Studiford, the author of Frozen Future, believes that anything can be possible when it comes to human anatomy. These two authors explain the process so deep that the cryonic process seems simple. Studiford and Best demonstrate the process similar to that of freezing meat and thawing it to eat the next week. While Best and Studiford refer to the freezing process in relation to meat, several other scientists were busy describing the steps of cryonics. The first step in the cryonic process is putting death on ice, which means lowering the core body temperature to 320 degrees below zero. The cooling process is a preservation method which slows chemical degrading of the body. Thus, the body will have no chance to decay or allow rigor mortis to set in. This extremely cold temperature will also slow the body's degrading rate by 30 trillion years. Cooling of the body has to be the first step in cryonics to slow the fluids in the cells from reproducing. This event prevents the formation of ice crystals, which permanently could damage the human cells, losing hope of resuscitation in the future. The cooling stage places the body cells and reactions into a state of comatose where it can be unfrozen in the future. The second step of cryonics is versification and cryogenic storage. Versification is a solidification of a cell or fluid to an amorphous or glassy state of no movement. This state allows the body to be intraversely injected with a alpha-tocopherol, a form of vitamin E, to reduce central metabolism and maintain sedation, prevent blood clotting, increase blood pressure, and overall stabilize the body's pH level. This injection preserves the main bodily functions and frequently needed for the reviving stage. After the body is filled with the preservation fluid, the body goes into a cryogenic storage. This facility is required to maintain the non-formation of ice crystals within the body's cells and fluids, and these storage units resemble thermobottle-like structures filled with liquid nitrogen and do not require power usage. Therefore, cryogenic storage of human bodies is the final step in the physical cryonic process. Beyond the cryogenic storage stage, the resuscitation stage has yet to be developed for successful thawing. The procedures behind stem cell research has provided insight for the future of cryonics. Even though scientists are seeing that stem cells can actually revive every organ in the body, the process still has many years of research before cryonics is successfully reversible. Stats show from the British Medical Journal that the more successful outcomes scientists receive from experiment procedures will boost their funding by 1/4 of their total revenues. Additionally, scientists will further medical research with those extra funds and possibly find a cure for the irreversible death known today. Once Edinger unleashed the influence behind cryonics, a deeper explanation of the cryonic process was developed. Since the explanation was deepened, the cost increased. This cost increase caused a snitch in the advertisement because many Americans did not have the money to invest in the process. And even though cryonics was not cost efficient, the microbiological process provided an open door for scientists to discover. With successful freezing of ovum and sperm in previous years, scientists aim to shorten the long cryonic process and successfully resuscitate a human being. My works cited are Ben Abram, Putting Death on Ice, Saturday Evening Post; Benjamin Best, Scientific Justification of Cryonic Practice; W.T. Gordon, Vocabulary of Cryonics, American Speech 50.2; Ruth Holland, Frozen Stiffs; Cheryl Knight, A Science Without a Deadline; Andrew Studiford, Frozen Future; and Cryonic Patients, Gone Today, Here, and Richer Tomorrow.